Hey everybody, I'm here with Olivier Melnick at our conference about the truth about Israel. And thank God he has come, and a lot of other great speakers have come. And Olivier has a poignant message for all of us about anti-Semitism, and he's going to be talking about that. So Olivier, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming all the way out from Texas. So tell the audience kind of what you're going to be talking about at this conference.
Well, Brandon, thanks for having me. It's a joy being here. It's such a blessing. I'm going to do a couple of things, but the main message I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to try to bring clarity to what's happening with this war between Hamas and Israel, and okay. I call it a war between good and evil.
Yeah, amen.
Because that's pretty much what it is.
That's right.
And so we'll look at what it is, what it's not, and how most important thing, how Christians can respond to it, because we can't just watch it, pass in front of us and do nothing. We have to respond to it.
Right. So tell me this. It's been, 6 weeks now since Hamas brutally attacked Israel and killed civilians, and the brutality we saw was almost demonic.
Yeah, it is. It's not almost, it is.
Yeah. And we're watching the world respond the wrong way.
Yeah, I'd say that.
And to where this was inhuman, this was barbaric, this is demonic, and they're trying to equivocate that, well, Israel needs to do a ceasefire. Israel needs to be proportionality-wise when they're going back in. Why do you think we're seeing this hostility towards Israel when Israel, all they're doing is defending themselves and trying to go get and extract Hamas and get them out of there and get their hostages? What's going on?
What's going on is that it's, I think, you mentioned the word twice, demonic. I think Satan, who is the inventor of anti-Semitism because he wants to get rid of the Jews, the apple of God's eye. I think Satan is starting to realize that his days are numbered. Mm-hmm. And he's pushing really hard right now. And, there's a gentleman by the name of Natan Sharansky, a Russian refusenik who's been working with immigration in Israel for years, and he came up with the 3 Ds of anti-Semitism: demonization, delegitimization, and double standards. And we're seeing all this play out right now in the war. We see the double standards.
Right.
It's sickening how so much is happening in the world, but when it happens to Israel can't do anything. You can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
You can't, proportional response. So were they supposed to go back the next day and go into Palestinian homes and behead babies and rape women? Is that
right.
what the word was meaning? That's not even what they were meaning.
Right, exactly.
They meant proportional to you means do nothing.
Yeah.
And then call for a ceasefire and so that Hamas can regroup.
Exactly.
They don't say that, but that's
right.
what's going to happen.
Well, and they keep using this term right after, like a week after it happened, humanitarian aid. Israel needs a ceasefire for humanitarian aid. And it's like you just said, this is allowing Hamas to regroup and get their act back together so they can do another attack. So it appears like the world either A, is ignorant, or B, is malevolent towards the Jews, or maybe they're willfully ignorant, like you had said before to me.
Right.
What is it that they don't understand about what's going on the ground?
Well, first of all, a lot of people have been completely brainwashed by 60 years of the false Palestinian narrative.
Yeah.
Thinking that, and that's something I'm going to talk about in my message today as well, how to demystify the fact that Palestine and the Palestinians, it's not what the world is hearing it is, but they don't question it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think especially our younger people, they are completely blinded by their thirst for social justice.
Yeah.
And they're blinded to the truth. They don't see the truth anymore.
Right.
And I bet you, I don't know that for sure, but I bet you if you were to ask the average Christian, what happened on October 7th, just saying that, and they would go like, I don't know, but they remember that right now there is a humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
Yes.
And nobody's talking about what happened on October 7th, but everybody's talking about the genocide that's taking place in Gaza right now, which of course is not a genocide.
Right.
But it's turned around. That's the new anti-Semitism, when the perpetrators have become the victims and the victims have become the perpetrators.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
And speak to this too, because I think a lot of people out there don't understand this. they'll say, I'm not anti-Semitic, but then they're anti-Zionism. They're anti-Israel being in the land.
Right.
And they'll call them an occupier. Speak to that as the new form of anti-Semitism.
Well, I'm not anti-Semitic, but I don't think the Jews should live in Israel, which really means if they don't live in Israel, they can be killed anywhere, because there's no government in the world that would protect the Jews like they do in Israel.
Yeah.
Even though there's a war right now, the average Jewish person on the streets of Jerusalem or Tel Aviv or anywhere else in Israel, they know that their government got their back.
Yeah.
You put the Jews back in France, where I'm from, right now, my family, my friends in France, I just got back from there. They're afraid to be on the street.
Wow.
They don't even know if the police, some of the police might be anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
In France.
Right. Right.
So it's just one country, but it's everywhere in the world. But we knew, Brandon, we knew that this would happen in the end times.
Yeah.
We knew that the whole world, Zechariah 12:3,
Yes,
the
right.
whole world was going to go against Jerusalem.
Yes.
But what I hang on is Zechariah 12:9, when God says, "I will go after all those who go after Jerusalem."
That's right.
So 12:3,
right.
yes, but 12:9, boom.
Yeah. Hey, speak to this. There's been a division in the church. We saw that with COVID.
Yes.
Okay, that divided the church, and the wheat and the tares were divided. Are you seeing another division with this issue about Israel in the church?
Well, I think the majority of the prophecy teachers in our circles are starting to see, and I agree with them, and I think you would too, are starting to see that there was a division with COVID, and then with the Christians that are right now in church, there is another chasm being between those who support Israel and those who don't.
Yeah.
And there's different levels of support or not supporting, but when you look at supporting Israel or not supporting Israel, it doesn't matter what level it is. When God said, "I will bless those who bless you, and curse him who curses you," He did not give a third option for people to sit on the fence or curse a little less. It's you. If you don't bless, you curse.
That's right. Yeah, and I think that's a good point, that there's no middle ground on this.
There shouldn't be.
Yes, and we're starting to see the silence of the church, the silence of the pastors, and it's sickening. But God is definitely revealing this, it seems to me. Well, anyway, thanks for coming today. And guys, if you want to catch Olivier's full message, go to rockharborchurch.net, go to The Truth About Israel. You'll be able to download the conference on your iPad, your tablet, your computer, or whatever. And you can be able to watch the full conference and hear all the great messages from the speakers, including Olivier Melnick.